This is the Spiritual Bacon Podcast. My name is Casey, and this is episode 7, the full NDE. And this is the episode I've avoided, the one I've hidden from, and I think I've said that in the past, but I know this is potentially the most important thing I could ever say. At the end of my near-death experience, and we're just going to rip the Band-Aid off here. It's just not as bad as it sounds, but still, I saw a meteor hit Earth. Not to destroy it, not to end everything, but as a massive, undeniable wake-up call. But before I tell you, go into all the details, what it meant, I just want to say something first. I know some people might be wondering why I've shared so much about myself up to this point. All the struggles, the trauma, the vulnerability, the past. And I shared it so you'd know this message isn't coming from someone floating above you. It's coming from someone who's in it with you. Someone who's lived in the same systems, who's felt stuck, who's been through hell and made it back. This message is coming from a genuine heart, from the mud, from the fire. And for, those of you that just skipped ahead to this episode, let's get to the NDE here. So I had my near-death experience during surgery. The last thing I remember was enjoying my time with Grumpy and dozing off. And then it was like the teleport scene from Thor. That only lasted like half a second. But suddenly, everything changed. I was watching my own surgery, not just from above, but like from within, from my body. I could see the doctors and nurses working on me. I could feel like everything and nothing at the same time. And then something shifted. The energy changed. They started moving faster. Something was happening. And then it was like a switch flipped. And I got the download. And if you've never heard the word download, in a spiritual sense, it's just like an overwhelming instant flood of deep truth, like of understanding, just like bypassing your brain and just going into your soul. Like no words, just knowing. And in that moment, the scene changed. The same room. My body was still in there, but the doctors and nurses weren't doctors and nurses anymore. They had become religious figures, all of them. Jesus, Moses, Buddha. I didn't even recognize all of them. Some of them were blurry, but you kind of just know. And it hit me. This was all the religions working together. And in that, right when I realized that in that moment, I knew that how I had felt about religion my entire life, I was right. Organized religion got manipulated or something along the way. It was out of alignment. It's supposed to unify us, but it divides us. And what I saw is what it could be, like its potential. Peace, the feeling in that room, there are no words for it. Serene, comforting, pure. If that's what heaven feels like, I understand why people don't want to come back. You can't describe it. But it didn't last long. And I've never shared this part. I ripped the Band-Aid off at the start there. But, before this, I didn't mention it in the episode earlier. The truth is I barely told anyone. Because once you start talking about meteors hitting Earth, there's not really any going back. You don't just start talking about stuff like that and just continue with a normal, quiet life, I don't think. So, I can't really stall anymore either, though. It's been 2.5 years almost. So, after the perfect scene, everything just zoomed out fast. And I was looking at Earth, floating above it. And then a meteor hit the planet. Not a giant apocalyptic explosion, no fire and brimstone, just an impact, energy, like a shockwave. It didn't destroy Earth. It was more of a message, a wake-up call, not doom, not fear, more it's time. Maybe it was just for me. Maybe it was for all of us. Either way, I got the message and I'm going to share it. So, and I've been scared to say all that out loud. Scared what people will say. I know it probably sounds crazy, but it's my truth. And I believe it's for everyone. So, now I want to share the tools that help me turn that truth into action, because knowing is one thing. Doing something with it is everything. And if you've never done anything spiritual in life, that's okay. What I'm sharing is simple, free, straightforward. It's not about crystals or robes or rituals. It's about you tending to your soul like you'd clean your house. Just a little spiritual housekeeping. Start with presence. Be present in your own life. Gratitude. Add in some meditation, some journaling, grounding, breath work, affirmations. There's so many neat things. And I'm just going to keep sharing them, but don't do it because it's trendy. Do it because it works. I went from depressed, anxious, addicted, numb, to the happiest I've ever been. No pills, no numbing, just tools and truth. Is it all sunshine and rainbows? No. But it's the most beautiful journey I've ever taken. Because now I have what I needed all along. God didn't send us down here without tools to do the job. And I've learned some, and I'm going to share them with you too. So the message that is for everyone. Oh man, I had to I had to come up with an analogy that was for everyone. Think about that. For every single human being, this had to be something that even across languages and all these other things that would at least kind of make sense to people, right? So, yeah, I think this is pretty good. We'll see what people think. But think of your soul like a bucket, okay? And as you go throughout your day, you're filling that bucket with energy, good or bad. It depends on what you're putting out and who you're around, but it's happening, and most people never check that bucket. I'm asking you to do one thing, and that's to just put some love in your bucket. I'm not even asking you to clean it, okay? Just start filling it with something you genuinely love. Something that lights you up, that makes your inner child come alive, that makes you feel you again. Play, dance, listen to music, fish, laugh. What everyone's different. Whatever it is, just do it. Try it. See how you feel after genuinely doing it. And then do it again. And soon your bucket's going to be overflowing with love. And when it does that, it not only helps you, it helps everyone around you. It helps the collective. So that's it. We need to get people to put some love in their bucket. Bonus points for cleaning, but we just got to get people to start taking a step back from the distractions and doing something they love. And that message came from the most sacred place I've ever been. Wow, and now I'm finally sharing it with everyone today. Holy crap. And even if all you do is just put some love in your bucket, if you don't use any of these tools or do any of the other spiritual stuff, whatever, it's incredible. Just make sure you're putting some love in your bucket. That's enough to start a ripple. That will start changing things. But if something in this episode woke something up in you, then let's go further. Let's go deeper. Because I believe we can change the world together. One soul, one spark, one overflowing bucket of love at a time. And it's really that simple, that easy. There you go. That's all of it. My first time sharing it, but I guess outside the tools, that's really my story up to this point. I guess now I finally, maybe I got to see what the next step is. I've been stuck on that one, 2.5 years? And I know I'm not done, but definitely excited to see what's next. I've shared all this stuff with people about me. What's next? I guess I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm gonna continue trying to figure out how to inspire people. That's my purpose. That's why I'm here. So whatever that looks like, share this message. Obviously, I need to get this everywhere. I guess, I'm not sure how far I went into past lives or anything, but I left myself something in a past life, and I need to go pick it up in this life. So I gotta get rolling on that, but I wasn't getting anything more intuitively while I was kind of stuck on this step. So we'll see if anything opens up there. But I probably should set up like something for donations. If anyone's out there is doing well and wants to help some random internet guy chase his dreams and inspire people to change the world, then why not? I'm not gonna charge anyone, so I got stuff to do too. Wow, I guess just thank you to everyone, my mentors, my family, my ex-girlfriend, just the gaming homies. Shout out my dogs. I know she was in the first episode making dinosaur noises. Yeah, hopefully this inspires people. If it inspired you, share it. Share it. I just put myself, this is crazy. This is for everyone. And everyone's going to know it was me that did this. Talking about meteors hitting Earth. This is wild. But, you don't go through something like that and then not share the message, especially when it's something beautiful and uplifting. So I guess we're letting all the weird out. Thank you for anyone who listened. Appreciate you. I'm gonna keep podcasting and stuff. We'll see what comes up. Thank you again. I'm not even sure how to accept donations. I'll sort it out and put it on the Instagram. Oh, what is it? It's Spiritual Bacon Podcast. And I think the email is spiritualbaconpodcast@gmail.com. And I think there's Twitter. I don't know. I'm kind of just winging it. This is all just happening in the last week or so. So, thank you again, everyone, for your patience. We're just going to keep on trucking. If you were inspired, share. Share, share, share.